Hey everybody, I'm back. All right, it is Sunday. Had a great morning at church, and now I'm back out in the garage. Thought I'd show you guys what I've been up to and where we are from last night's video to this afternoon. Here we go. All right, so pocket kits. There we go. That's what we're looking like, and it looks like I'm probably not going to have to grind down. You guys see that? The inside, I might have to take it down just a little bit, but the frame is much wider up front than it is in the back. So, looks like I might be able to fit right inside the washers here. Here's the passenger side. You can see it might just fit. I might have to trim this down just a little bit right there. But other than that, looks like it might be good to go. Now, this is what I had to do. For these CPP pockets, you have to go, pretty much you have to take the entire lip off and go straight back to the wall. So take everything, all the thickness, right? All the way back to just the thickness of the wall itself. And then once you do that, it looks like it fits in here, or it's going to fit in here, especially since these guys flex a little bit. Oh, look at that. Let's see here if I can grab that guy. Look at this. Wow. Wonder how long that's been in there. There's an old nut with like a carriage top on it. What a trip. All right, well, I have to stick that in Evapo-Rust, and I bet it'll actually still work down the road. So I'm also going to get my shop vac and blow this out on the inside because, yeah, there's a lot of nastiness inside of here. So, yeah, we're moving forward. Pretty excited to see what I'm going to do the rest of the day. So I'm going to take out the my all thread here that I have in. I think I showed you last night that I put some more tacks on the outside of the washers. I might end up just welding them all the way around on both sides, so we'll see once I get the pockets in. Once I get the pockets in, I am going to put the RideTech leaf springs in and measure them both to make sure that they come back to the same spot on the back of the frame. Also yesterday, one of my former students, total stud, still at Ripon High School, Merrick Postma, came over and based off of get my brain working here. Robert HAFF from Hot Rodz builds. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, I always mark it down on the bottom. But Merrick and I came over, and I know I've talked about this in previous videos. We're going to put a little C-notch in here, and we're going to put it into AutoCAD and make it so that it's going to be welded, but it'll be a bolt-up. So down the road, if somebody wanted to buy one, we could put it together for you and do that. We set it up so that it's a C, so it'll go over like this. This is the bottom of the frame. So C will be cut here. There'll be metal on the top, bottom. It'll go over like this, and the center part will actually fit underneath the top with like the two-part frame. And then when you bolt it together, then if you wanted to weld it, you could also weld it together as well. So we'll see. I'm going to use the mounting locations, or at least use a couple holes here that are already in the frame. This is for a brake line, and this one it'll go from this hole right here, which goes through the entire frame, all the way down up until here. The C-notch will span the entire arch. That's by theory. That's what we're hoping. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, back to this guy here, the pocket kit. Debating on if I'm going to fill in these holes right here. I don't know. I guess I should. So we'll see. I might cut out a little piece from the existing steel that I have left over here. Cut a little piece to fit in there, and then weld it in. So that's what's going on today. Just moving forward. I'm going to take the all thread out now and try to put both of the pockets in and see how that goes. And I won't bore you guys. It takes a while to spin this all thread back and out one way to get the nuts out, and the other way. So I'll turn this back on in just a couple minutes once I get it all out, and yeah, show you guys what it looks like. Oh, one other thing that I'm thinking about doing, it's kind of cool. Oops, got extra metal falling over here. Leftover. CPP has these two mounting holes. This top one obviously goes with the existing. So I think what I might do is drill a hole in the frame right down here so that I can mount another. If I wanted to drop the leaf spring down one other notch, I could do that to give him some clearance and get a little bit lower. So for that as well, when I get over here, I'm going to have to, so on the C notch that goes in here, I'm going to actually spread it down. I'm going to bring it down a little bit just so that I believe they're reverse eyes that are on, correct me if I'm wrong, that are on the RideTech composite leaf springs. So I want to make sure it doesn't hit here, so I'm actually going to bring it, I'm going to fold this down a little bit and bring it down so that as the leaf spring comes down, it arches, it doesn't hit the frame. So anyway, that's down the road. One task at hand, ADHD all over the place. So here we go, jumping on this guy, and we're going to start getting to it. Oh, also, guys, on a side note, if you haven't checked out Kyle Phillips' YouTube channel or Instagram, and you like tri-fives, especially tri-fives that perform well on the track, check out his channel. I'll put a link down below, especially to his video that he has. He has a video where he goes over his old chassis before he has a Speed Tech in right now, and he modified his existing chassis, and I thought it was really cool. He has a Hellwig rear sway bar, so I'm going to actually hit him up. He had to make some braces for that rear sway bar, so I'm going to hit him up and see why he had to put those in and what his measurements are, just so that I can do the same thing, because I'm putting a Hellwig in my father's as well. But if you want to see a Tri-5, especially a 56, his dad has a 55 that also has a Speed Tech chassis, and they are monsters. I mean, they are bad A. So you want to check him out. Check him out on Instagram. Check him out. I'll put a link down here to his YouTube channel, especially, like I said, the video that he goes over with his old chassis as it's sitting up on the lift, or it's suspended from the ceiling, something like that. So anyway, guys, I'll get back to you in just a sec. Hi, we are back. Here we go. Okay, so I trimmed it down. You have to go to, you just have to go to the edge. You have to go to the thickness of the metal of the wall of the frame, the chassis. Did that, and I also had to take down part of the side when they bend this, right? So they have one piece of steel and they bend it over. There's a little bit that protrudes out, right? I guess you'd call it proud, or protrudes out from the corner here. So I had to shave that down a little bit on both sides. And so let's see what's going on here. So that's the driver's side. It's over here. I also had to get in with my, oops. All right, with this guy. And because my grinder wouldn't get down far enough, right? So I had to then shave this off right in here. Probably not the best use for this tool, but hey, it worked in a pinch, did what I needed, I believe. We're going to find out in just a second here. I'm going to put you guys back up on my little stand, and we can check things out as I move things around. You know what? Leaving this hole right here for right now has been very useful, because when I'm trying to fit the pocket in, like so, the pocket fits in. Having that little guy right there has been nice to be able to pry it out once you get it down and you're trying to fit everything out. So, see, even though I took some out and I'm right to the wall, the frame itself gets thinner as it comes to the back, the frame, the actual frame. So, and the pocket is the same all the way through. So it is going to flare the pocket just a little bit, or that's going to flare the frame a little bit in that spot. So let me grab a hammer here. Here we go. A little persuasion here. So you can see it is coming up quite a bit here, but I'm just about dead on. So looks like I'm sitting a little high, and I have a feeling that's to do with the two-piece frame sitting there. So I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna cut off the top of the part of the frame that overlaps, right? So cut that from the other side on the top so that it fits down, because structurally, once I weld it all together, this is going to be stronger than it ever was before. Look at the difference in the thickness between the walls, right? So if I end up cutting some out of the bottom to get this to fit down flush, then so be it. Or it'll end up being the top of the frame, so be it. It'll be fine because it's going to fit down nice and flush. So I'm also going to do, been playing around thinking about this all morning. I'm going to cut out a couple slots right in here, and I'm going to weld the kit or the pocket to the frame down here as well. So it's not just adhered together or stuck together, welded together here structurally. It's going to be welded along the sides too. I'm going to cut two holes along the side, rectangles along the side, that will allow me to then put the frame, stick the frame to, weld the frame to the pocket itself. I'll get the pocket, because it's a lot thicker gauge metal, I'll get that really hot before I move the welder over onto the frame itself, the metal in the frame. So, and I'll clamp everything together really good. So anyway, so now it just comes down to fitment, moving things around, seeing what I can do. But man, that is sitting up pretty high on there. So we'll have to see. I'm thinking that looks about the same thickness right there that I'm off of the wall of the frame. So, and what I'm talking about, guys, right here, see how they overlap? And on the inside, it's overlapped as well. So as it's sitting, let me come over here. So you can see here, see the difference in size? So if I remove, I don't know, if I remove some of this part of the frame, the upper part, then it should go down as part of the two-piece frame, right? If it was a one-piece frame, it would just go down into it flush. But seeing as how it's a two-piece frame, that does kind of cause a problem with it sitting a little bit high. And I want to make sure that that's down in their center. So, I don't know. Most people probably don't care. They just stick it in and say good is good. But I guess that's the little perfectionist side of myself. I want to make sure everything is dialed in, especially since this is the chassis. I want to make sure everything's, square and done right. And especially with all the movement that you have on your chassis, everything needs to be put together right. And then you can enjoy the twisties or whatever else you want to do. So I'm debating that. We'll see. I'm going to try to move some stuff around, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to try to fit the other side in now, and we'll see. Might cut you guys off here for a little bit while I think this through and figure out what I'm going to do, and then we'll go from there. What I might do is just cut down that seam. What I'm saying here is, what I might do is just cut down the seam and then bend it down and out, and then bend the frame down so that it sits flush, and then weld it up. I think that might be what I do. Instead of cutting a slot out, instead of cutting this whole piece out, just cutting down the center, relieving it, and then I can push it out far enough down that I need to, and then I can clamp everything and weld everything back up too. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that'll give me a lot better integrity. So, all right, looks like I'm going to have to do some cutting from the opposite side and reposition my jacks. All right, thanks, guys. We'll be back. Hey guys, all right, so a lot of trying to figure this out. Having these tack welded washers in has been invaluable, allowing me to find center and get this dialed in. So this is what I had to do. I had to take two little relief cuts here at the bottom, right here, and then, here, let me turn this around, set you guys over here while I get this up on here. Just a second. All right. Okay. So, what did I have to do here? So I had to cut two small reliefs in the back side of, or the top side. I think I was talking about that in the last video. Take this thing off here. He's off of here. All right, so in the last video I was talking about making 2 cuts. Because this is a 2-piece frame, one of the sides sits higher than the other in the channel. So when you put the pocket in, C-notch, whatever you want, well, it's not really C-notch, but the pocket in, it's going to sit sideways like this, right? Because one side, it's not level. So I made a cut on each side just on the areas that touch, and I'll show you guys where those are. And then I dropped those pieces down, hit them with that ball peen on both sides, which dropped that down. In other words, pushed it to the top of the frame, right? 'Cause top's the bottom, right down here, the bottom of this, because I'm sitting on the bottom. So once I did that, then it allowed me to get the 2 reliefs in the back here, allowed this back piece to flare out, and then I still have a part of the pocket protruding out here from the original frame. However, get this off of here. I'm talking to my video, making a YouTube. Come on over, Brian.
Hey, give me handbar.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys, just a second. My buddy's calling. Hi, guys, I'm back. That's my buddy Brian. One of these days I'll do a YouTube video on his square body. He's got 76, I think, square body. It's got an original 454. Oh my gosh, it's a beast. And thanks to Montana Garage, I was watching his, and I'm not much of a drag racer. I'm more of the twisties. But he talked about Caltrac, so I talked to my buddy Brian, and he ordered a Caltrac setup for the back because he ripped. It has so much torque that it ripped the brackets off they aren't trailing arms. What are they? Ladder bars, I guess, is what they used to have that it had on it, and it just ripped them. The torque, it just ripped them right off. So we'll be putting those on. One of these days I'll go down and show you. He's got a, I think he's got the Sniper EFI on his as well. So sick truck. It's all yellow, beautiful. Anyway, back to this guy. So let me pop this guy out of here and show you guys what I'm talking about here. I tell you, having this little hole on the end has been pretty nice, because I've had to pry this thing out of here a couple times, and that little hole at the back really helps out. There we go. All right. This guy out now. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. And I was just talking to Brian, and his father-in-law has a 55 as well with a 2-piece frame, and he did the Brian welded in the mini tubs, and I don't know if he did this or not. No, I don't think he did this on his father-in-law's, but he did put mini tubs on his 55. His 55 has a race engine built by a drag racing boat manufacturer or friends of his that build engines for drag boats and stuff. So it's pretty sick. We'll have to do that some other time. So let me show you guys what this looks like. And we're switching 3, 2. All right, so here we go. That's that little slice I was talking about. So I made the slice, and on the other side, it doesn't look this pretty, right? So the first time, a lot of learning curve. I ended up going too far over on the seam here, messed it up, had to cut a channel out, so I'm gonna have to re-weld that top part. This time, you wanna stay on the inside of the overlapped piece. So see, this is the overlap piece, the piece that would be protruding up. You want to stay on the inside of this when you're cutting, so that you can flop this piece down. Otherwise, if you cut over here, then the protruding piece is still sitting welded to this piece right here. Okay, so you want to stay right there on the inside, and then when you drop it down, it fits just right. And having these washers in has made a huge difference, because it keeps it level inside there, because you can keep it level this way, but then it'll want to twist like this, or like that, right? And it'll still go through, or like this, or like that. So putting it in level and making sure it was square, you know, putting up a square, obviously, to one side and then the other, making sure that it's square. Then I know for sure when I put it in that it's good to go on both sides. And then I'll also run the all thread through one more time just to make sure once I have everything on. And then I'll put the leaf springs on, measure them from front to back before I weld everything in. I'll tack it in and then measure the leaf springs and make sure that it's good to go. But for today, I have to go prep for my lessons this week and get ready to do some teaching, spend some time with my beautiful wife. But it was a wonderful weekend. Got to do some car stuff, which was fun. Got to spend a little time with Merrick coming over and do some plotting and thinking about that little C-notch. And Smokey's coming together. Once again, guys, if you haven't checked out Kyle Phillips' YouTube channel, I'll put the link below. His 56 is sick. His dad's 55. Amazing. If you haven't seen them on Instagram, check them out on Instagram. Like and subscribe. Also, guys, Rusty Wrenches, Hot Rodz Garage, Montana Garage, and 55 TwoTen. Check out their channels. They have great channels, really good how-tos. If you're into 55s, you can't not go to Hot Rodz builds. It's, yeah, he is, as far as I'm concerned, he has everything. He knows everything about the cars, at least more knowledgeable than anybody else I've seen. And he teaches, he goes through, he explains everything. So you got to check him out. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And C10 stuff, definitely check out Montana or Rusty Wrenches. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, guys, this is what the composite leaf spring looks like. The RideTech StreetGRIP leaf spring, rear leaf spring looks like. And believe it or not, there is a difference. I don't know why, but there is a difference between the passenger side. Hey, there goes Licorice. The passenger side and the driver's side. So the passenger side, when I put them on, my wife Jeannie and I put them on, it was tilted over. When I put the other composite leaf spring over on this side, it was actually shifted over to the outside of the frame. And we flipped them over, and look at that, dead on. Look at that. And I'm gonna make sure, because I don't want any rubbing. Like I talked about in one of my other videos, there's one of my friends, I saw his chassis, and it had been tweaked. The bolt wasn't put in correctly, and so it was putting, it was putting a lot of strain on the leaf spring and the joint, you know, the joint itself and the bolts and bushings and everything. So anyway, here we go. I am beyond excited. This is so cool. All right, there we go. There's a real quick view directly down, looking at the pocket kit. Look at that, how it fits right inside the frame. And then the next part will be to cut the C-notch right down here in the back. There's the C-notch right there. Sits right into here, and then that's the hanger for the bracket that goes on the back side, upside down like this, under there, to line it up. Cool.